My cheating wife told me, I'm tired of hiding, so just know, I have a great, enduring lover, and now he'll occasionally stay overnight at our place. I smiled and said, I think he'll be useless to you, considering he's already lost his main tool. I sat at the dinner table, sipping my coffee, when my wife, Claire, casually leaned back in her chair and smirked. She swirled the wine in her glass, watching me with that smug expression I had grown to hate over the past few months. I'm tired of hiding, so just know I have a great enduring lover, she said, as if she was announcing something as mundane as the weather. She placed her glass down, staring at me. And now he'll occasionally stay overnight at our place. My fingers tightened around my coffee mug, but I didn't react, not how she expected me to, at least. No yelling, no outrage, just a slow, measured breath. I had already known. I had seen the signs, the late nights at work, the sudden obsession with her appearance, the way she avoided my touch while keeping her phone glued to her hand. But hearing her say it boldly, without shame, that was something else. She was testing me, waiting for me to explode, to beg, to fight. Instead, I smiled, a small, knowing smile. I think he'll be useless to you, I said smoothly, lifting my coffee cup to my lips. Considering he's already lost his main tool. The smirk vanished from her face, her lips parted slightly, confusion flickering in her eyes. What the hell are you talking about? I set the cup down gently, leaned forward, and met her gaze. You're about to find out. Claire stared at me, her confidence wavering for the first time. She had expected rage, maybe desperation, anything but this eerie calm. What do you mean? She asked, her voice a fraction less steady. I leaned back, watching her squirm. I had let her think she was in control, that was her first mistake. You'll see soon enough, I said, standing up. I suggest you make the most of tonight, it's the last time things will be normal. I left her at the table, letting her paranoia start to fester. She had no idea what was coming, the setup I had been planning for weeks, the moment I first suspected something was off. I didn't confront her, I observed, I tracked her routines, planted hidden cameras, and even followed her once, just to confirm what I already knew. Her great enduring lover, a pathetic excuse for a man named Daniel, had no idea that while he was sneaking into my house, I had been digging into his entire life. I found everything, his workplace, his criminal record, turns out he wasn't as clean as Claire thought. His shady financial situation, his weakest points, the ones I was about to exploit, and most importantly, his medical records. That's when I discovered the perfect way to ruin him. The reckoning begins that night. I pretended to go to bed early, leaving Claire alone, just as I expected. She quickly got up, fixed her makeup, and sent a message, he's coming over. I watched from my hidden security feed as Daniel walked into my home like he owned it, smirking, confident, not knowing it was the last mistake he'd ever make. I let them get comfortable, let them think they were safe, then I sent the anonymous email. Within minutes, police sirens blared outside. Claire and Daniel barely had time to react before the front door was kicked open. Officers swarmed in, guns drawn. Daniel turned ghostly pale. What the hell is this? Claire shrieked. One officer grabbed Daniel, slamming him against the wall. Daniel Carter, you're under arrest for fraud, embezzlement, and identity theft. You have the right to remain silent. I walked down the stairs slowly, deliberately. Claire turned to me, her face a mask of horror. You, she whispered. I smiled. Of course I did. Did you really think I'd just let this slide? She lunged at me, but an officer held her back. Careful, I said coolly. You're still legally my wife, and once I'm done with you, you'll be left with nothing. Claire's entire world started to collapse, but this was just the beginning. Claire stood frozen as Daniel was dragged away in handcuffs, his protests drowned out by the officers reading him his rights. Her face was a twisted mix of shock, fear, and anger. What the hell have you done? She spat at me, her voice trembling. I leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed, watching her realize too late that she had no control anymore. Me? I said, feigning innocence. I just let the law do its job. You might want to take a seat, Claire, your life is about to get complicated. She clenched her fists. You think you've won, that bastard will be out on bail in no time, I chuckled, shaking my head. You still don't get it, do you? I wasn't just watching you two fool around, Claire, I was digging, and I found everything I needed to make sure Daniel never walks away from this. Her expression faltered. I took out my phone and tapped on a saved file. Here, let me paint a picture for you. Your great enduring lover isn't just some cheating loser, he's a criminal, fraud, identity theft, a history of unpaid debts, and oh, look at this, a record of soliciting underage girls online. Claire's face went white. You're lying, she whispered, but the doubt in her voice was obvious. I turned the screen to her, letting her see the hard proof, screenshots, chat logs, financial transactions, all tied to Daniel's name. Tell me, Claire, I said, watching her panic set in, what do you think happens when the court finds out? Not only cheated with this guy, but you brought him into our home, introduced him to our neighbors, and let him stay around our friends. Do you think that's going to make you look good? Her hands shook. I didn't know you didn't care, I corrected, and now you're going down with him into financial ruin. As Claire struggled to process what was happening, I kept going. You might want to check your bank accounts, I said, pulling out my own phone. Oh, wait, never mind, they're empty. Her head snapped up. What? I shrugged. You remember that joint savings account, the one you thought I was too stupid to keep track of? Turns out I was moving funds months ago. Every shady little transaction you made, every dollar spent on your affair, I tracked it all. And when I filed for divorce earlier today, I made sure you'd walk away with nothing. She grabbed her phone with shaking hands, frantically checking her accounts. Her face drained of color. You're lying, she said weakly. Check for yourself, I said casually. Oh, and the house? It's mine. You signed a prenup, remember? You don't get a cent. She looked up at me with pure desperation in her eyes. Now you bastard, you can't do this. I stepped closer, lowering my voice. I already did. Tears welled in her eyes. The smug confidence she had when she brought that contract to me was gone, replaced by fear. She had no money, no place to stay, and soon no reputation. And I wasn't done yet. The final blow now, Claire, I said, stepping back. I'd love to stay and watch you unravel, but I have places to be. You, on the other hand, have about 24 hours before the real fun begins. She wiped at her tears angrily. What do you mean? I smirked. Well, let's just say you're about to be famous. Her phone dinged, then dinged again and again. She frowned, opening her messages, only for dozens of notifications to flood in, screenshots of her affair circulating in the group chats of our family and friends, the police report detailing Daniel's crimes, a leaked copy of the open marriage contract she tried to force on me, now a viral post ridiculing her online. Her breathing quickened as she scrolled through the damage. You sent this to everyone, she choked out. Not just them, I said, turning toward the door. Your job, your family, our neighbors, hell, even your yoga instructor. Hope you're ready to be the talk of the town. I walked out, leaving her standing there in the ruins of her own choices, and I didn't look back. Claire's fall from grace. By the next morning, Claire's life was unrecognizable. She wasn't just the town's most hated woman, she was a laughingstock. The texts, the screenshots, the evidence of her open marriage proposal, it all spread like wildfire. Friends blocked her, family disowned her, even her coworkers who once admired her now looked at her with pure disgust. And the best part? Her boss fired her, the company couldn't afford the scandal. Her great enduring lover was denied bail, turns out being exposed as a predator doesn't sit well with judges. The divorce papers were served, she had 30 days to vacate my house. And as for me? I was thriving, better than ever. Claire's desperation, she called me that night, crying, begging. Please, we need to talk, she sobbed through the phone. I let her ramble for a while, let her taste the panic, then I simply said, not my problem. And I hung up. She sent a dozen messages, I ignored every single one. She chose this, now she could suffer for it. Final chapter, her last mistake. By the end of the week, Claire had one last trick up her sleeve. She showed up at my door, makeup smeared, hair a mess, completely broken. Please, she whispered, I need your help. I don't have anyone else. I looked her up and down, the same woman who once smirked at me, thinking I was weak, now standing here pathetic and ruined. I smiled. So what happened to your great enduring lover? She flinched. Gone, she murmured. He won't even take my calls, I chuckled. Yeah, neither will I. Then I shut the door in her face. She collapsed sobbing, but I didn't care. She was dead to me. And with that, I walked away, leaving her to drown in the wreckage she built for herself. Was this revenge justified, or did it go too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your take. If you love jaw-dropping pro-revenge stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and smash the like for more thrilling tales. Every like, share, and subscription means the world to us. It helps us keep bringing you the stories you crave. Your support truly makes a difference.